We're good.
Okay, so it's 9 o'clock, so I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call, please. Or want me to do it or? You want to do roll call or you want me to do? Roll
You
call?
can do it.
Okay, so, Gary. Okay, let's see here, Jerry Anderson, William Metzinger,
Here.
Marty Detek,
Yep.
Rich Huber.
And he said probably.
Yeah. Gary.
We should sit next to each other.
Okay, so, should we do the pledge of allegiance?
It's up to you.
I think we should. Thank you. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's see, next is, approval of the minutes. Already had a chance to read it? Okay,
Rich, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
okay, motion, by Bill. And Jerry, seconded by Jerry. Motion carried. Okay, Chamber of Commerce, Mary, I don't even want to write it down, her name, McPartridge. Okay, she won't be here, so she had a handout, so, people can look at it, I don't know. Any questions you can't answer, so.
That she had jury duty this morning. So.
Oh,
But she said that they've been super busy and she said it really picks up after Labor Day. So she expects to continue to be busy through the fall.
yeah, she does a good job anyway. She's always doing something, so.
What is this health thing? Is it a certain day or is it the whole month?
I think that it belongs to the piece that I had. You got Mary stuff.
Somewhere.
The piece that I had that and the front page, the letter, I think that's all part of the same. It's all attached.
But it's for the whole month. Right.
Yeah. It's a billboard on Highway 70 near the city got all the pictures attached. Says Elk Fest September in Travel Ashland County. So it's a picture of a billboard that she put up.
Okay, anything more on that? If not, we'll go to, public comments. Anyone?
Hey, Rich, it's Dan.
Yes, go ahead.
Erica would like to introduce herself.
I didn't hear that.
Erica, she's the new grant writer.
Oh,
She's
okay.
looking to introduce herself.
Oh, okay, sure, that'd be great.
Hi, everybody. I'm here online. I hope you can hear me. I have been making my way around the committees in the county. I am the new grant writer for Ashland County. And I'll be contacting you soon through email or in person to sort of ask what grants you have, what your priorities are, what projects you'd like to see funded, and to see where I can help out with those things. So just wanted to say hello. I'm here and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Oh, okay, thanks. Anybody got any questions? No one? Okay, thanks then.
Sure thing.
Any more public comment?
Rich,
Yeah.
did you guys approve the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay,
Didn't it?
no.
Into
You
the
did-
minutes first, he swapped them.
Yeah, you did a pledge, but
He called it, he did the minutes.
Oh, okay, so. Well, we can do it now though, right? Okay, moved by Marty to approve the agenda,
I'll second it.
and seconded by Gary. All in favor, say, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. Okay, nobody else on public comment online or anything? If not, we'll approval of the minutes. Okay, Bill,
I will make that motion.
okay, motion by Bill to approve the minutes. Maybe Marty was all. Yeah, and seconded by Marty. So, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. Okay, next is a DNR report. The first one is fisheries. For Zach. He's
Not here.
not here, so we'll report on that. Then the next one would be wildlife. So.
Gemma. Yeah, nice to meet some of you, finally. My name's Jenna Malinowski, I'm a wildlife biologist in Iron County and in Southern Ashland County, both in the county forest liaison for wildlife, here in Ashland County. So, first I'll touch on a few of our surveys that we've had this spring and summer. At the beginning of the spring, our grouse looked really, really good. I think I had the most drumming, number of drums that I ever have in any past year. Unfortunately, we just finished up our brood surveys here in August for turkey and grouse. And I did not see as many broods as I would have liked to see for grouse, and I think that's just a matter of a really wet spring. There were a few little fluff balls that I just saw last week, that, I mean, must have been like the third attempt at producing offspring for the grouse, but yeah, other than that, I really haven't seen a whole lot. So we'll see how this season looks. The turkey, on the other hand, looks to be pretty good. They can handle the bad weather a little bit better. There are a few small ones that I've seen recently, but for the most part, they all look pretty healthy. We're currently in the swing of our fawn to doe ratio, or our summer deer observation surveys that starts in August and it ends at the end of September. So what we're doing now is just looking at the number of deer we see and how many of those have fawns with them. So that is also a citizen science-based survey. So if anybody wants to get involved with that, they can go onto the DNR website and search, I think it's summer deer observation survey, and start putting in what they see as well, their observations. And that's a simple app on your phone too, or you can download a spreadsheet and send it in at the end of September. This year for our deer season, we're gonna have the normal 3 stations for deer aging and CWD sampling, the Mellon Ranger Station, the Ashland Ranger Station, and then Heritage Meats right here in Butternut. So it's more important that we get aging samples. So if you do harvest a deer or somebody you know, it would be great to just drop the head off and label it as Ashland County or Price County or Iron County, wherever you got it from. Unless we have the exact location with the deer, with the hunter information, we won't sample it for CWD. We can't sample it for CWD, but that is an option as well. Otherwise, you can get directly a hold of me and I will come and age your deer. That information is really important because it goes into our sex age kill assessment, and that's how we get our population estimates. And it's been very difficult to try to get deer aging samples, especially with the low amount of deer that have been harvested the most recent 10+ years. And so the more you guys can help, the more that population estimate will be further accurate. Let's see, 3 weeks ago, the Natural Resources Board approved the elk management plan, and the biggest changes to that is now we have a north and central management zone. We do have boundary expansions of those management zones, and we have hunting units in and adjacent to each zone. So that's in preparation for a greater harvest in the future, and especially in the areas just outside of where we want the elk to be, we might be seeing more tags come out. Maybe not in the near future, but in the future. Let's see, we're currently in the swing of wild rice harvesting. With that also is wild rice seeding, so we're working very closely with the tribes and Glyphwick to procure as much wild rice as possible so we can reseed other flowages and lakes in the area, because the wild rice crop is really, really bad, and a lot of not only people rely on that, but also our waterfowl populations. So we're looking at that. Minnesota has also had a really bad rice crop, and that's usually where we buy rice from. And so this year is going to be very difficult to try to put down as many acres as we'd like for seeding. Doing our best though. So if you do have anybody who's interested in selling wild rice, raw wild rice, ones that was just picked, to the DNR, please contact me. Bear season opens today, so it's baiting first for the next week, and then dogs will be ran. We're continuing to have significant funding issues within the department. We're continuing to see less staff, less contracting, and therefore less work on not only state lands, but also county forest lands. The wildlife program is starting movement on procuring funding to start work on county land again, and reinstating that county forest work that we've always been known to do. But right now we're kind of in a halt on that. Funding issues are, it's multiple things that are associated with that, but big one is we have went on 20 years now without license sale increases. We continue to give significant discounts to different hunting groups, whether that's youth, veterans, seniors, up to the amount of $17 million a year. And so we've been looking at that too. And then lastly is just our aging hunting population. We're seeing that nationwide. We're not just seeing it with deer hunting, we're seeing it with all sorts of hunting and issues with that. And so less hunters means less money coming in. We had a prediction in 2013, prior to 2013, that we would see a drop in 12% of hunters from 2009 to 2020. And we basically have seen that. And for the next decade, which is 2020 to 2030, we should, like, the expectation that we're going to see another drop of 18% in our deer hunting population, male deer hunting population. That's pretty significant. So we're asking more hunter education, trapper education, fisher ed instructors to be more active. If you're not one, to possibly think about being one, that you can get in touch with me as well. And yeah, other than that, just plugging away. I currently don't have an LTE this summer. This is the first summer I've had where I haven't had assistance working, so that's been it's been pretty tight in trying to do work even on state lands alone. So.
Okay, any questions? No?
How long have you been in this position?
Since 2016. I've been with the department since 2012.
So where do you work out of?
Mercer. Yeah.
Any other questions? No, if not, we'll go on to forestry.
So I'm not behind Chris. I'm Avery Jenkins, I'm a forester at Mellon. I'm the county forest liaison to Ashland County. So the big news is that we're back to full strength in Mellon. We've got myself, I'm a public lands forester. We've got a forestry technician who runs our dozer and provides other support programs. And then we just hired a forest ranger. This is Garrett Lomke. You want to introduce yourself, Garrett?
Yeah, so I'm Garrett. I'm the new forest ranger out of Mellon with Avery. So I'll be working with them occasionally on some county forest sales, setting them up, getting them sold and stuff like that.
So, yeah, pleased to be back to full strength. It's been a few years now that we've had a vacancy in that ranger position, so this is, you know, a good thing for us in our programs. Another update, so the Mercer Ranger Station, they're building a brand new ranger station in Mercer. It's gonna be done this fall, putting the final touches on it now. If you're driving through Mercer, go ahead and pull in there, it's right off Highway 51, take a look. It's a beautiful new building, it's gonna be really nice for our program. So as far as state lands go, we manage Copper Falls, the Hay Creek, Popham Lake Wildlife Area, and the White River Wildlife Area here in Ashland County. So we were looking to have some activity start up at Copper Falls. We've got a timber sale up by the observation tower. And if you've been up there at all in the last several years, you'll know that from the observation tower, you can't see hardly anything from the top of that hill because the trees are all grown up. But we have a logging job plan there to take out, you know, some of those trees around the tower and really open up the view. So we're excited about that. Hoping to get that done this winter. Do some prep work this summer. And the park is really excited about that too. On the county forest, we've been doing a lot of kind of like initial reconnaissance, painting stand boundaries, things like that, really trying to get everything in place so that when the leaves start coming down late September, we can hit the woods hard and get timber sales marked. Pretty routine work, but you know, we feel like we're in a pretty good spot right now. We've got several areas identified to put together some nice logging jobs. Another thing I've been pretty pleased with is seeing a lot of timber sales cut this summer. You know, even with the wet weather, we're still getting a lot of wood cut. This will be my 4th summer here with Ashland County, and I'm finally starting to see some of the sales I had set up when I first, you know, came on the scene. They're being cut now, so that's really satisfying to see that. And we have seen a little bit of an uptick in private lands phone calls. So Garrett's kind of the point person on private landowner assistance. Seen a little bit of an uptick there. It sounds like I would expect that to kind of continue into the fall. People start getting back out to their woods, hunting and stuff like that, and our phone starts ringing usually. A couple last things, forest health wise, last summer we saw a huge outbreak of spongy moth, formerly known as gypsy moth and zippy foliator. So like the northern half of the county, we saw it a lot more, kind of up like north of Marengo, not so much down here. Not really seeing that so much this summer. I think that population of that caterpillar kind of ran its course. And but what we have seen is a lot of like fungal leaf diseases, where like leaves are looking brown and kind of wilted, or like the lower part of the crown is kind of falling off prematurely. Not so much to be worried about. It's kind of a shame when it's like on your fruit trees or something like that in your yard, but we're not too terribly worried about that. But that's really kind of driven by this wet summer we've had. One last thing to mention is Fall Fest at Copper Falls. It's an event they do every year, and Forestry is going to be there this fall, September 21st. We're going to have Smokey Bear out there, the fire equipment, talking about fire prevention and stuff like that. I'm excited to be part of that event after a couple years where we weren't able to make it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah. Any Emerald Dashboard, is that still expanding or is it?
Yep.
Stabilizing or?
Nope, it's I mean, I don't have an exact, you know, location for you. There's been confirmed hits, I know, like in City of Ashland. Now it's in the town of Marengo. It's in Park Falls, so I would expect it's already kind of like moving into those kind of adjacent townships and stuff like that. The ash looks like crap this summer. I don't know if that's so much Emerald ash borer or just fluctuations, you know, dry summers followed by this wet summer. We do have some native ash pests that will kind of like produce the same effects, so it's moving for sure.
Go ahead.
In Ashland, there's some trees with like a red ribbon on it or orange ribbon on it, and it says that they've been treated or something.
Sure. Yeah.
What's with that? Oh, you see them? They're all over up where I live.
Yeah. So
what is that? What is that all about?
you can treat ash trees with basically an insecticide to protect them from you know, being fed on by the emerald ash borer.
There's a few ways they can do that, like a root injection with a pesticide or like a soil drench. So like in urban areas or yard trees, street trees, people will do that, you know, whether it's just individual trees or an entire street. The trouble with that is that you have to keep coming back to those same trees to give them that protection. It's a good option for like a homeowner, but not so much like a county forest.
Who's in charge of doing that?
Like in the city of Ashland, that's probably their Parks and Rec department that handles their kind of urban forestry needs.
That Copper Falls, they got their, don't they have an open house for their new, building too, sometime here.
Yeah, they built that new kind of concession stand pavilion deal down there. I guess I don't have the details on that.
Yeah, I don't know, I didn't
know that was
a
a good project that, yeah, they're proud of. It'll be a nice addition to the park.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. Any other questions? No? If not, we'll move on and have, snowmobile ATV report, Ron.
Morning.
Morning.
Ron's in a good position this morning because you brought John Westfall.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna give the report.
Oh, okay. Well, for the people that don't know me, I'm John Westfall. I hold many hats in the snowmobile world. I am the vice president for the Ashland County Snowmobile Alliance. I am the Ashland County AWSC director. And I'm also president of League Mellon, the multi-mountain integrated snowmobile club. So, all in all, I have some good news and I have some bad news. I'll start out with the good news first. Let's do that. Ashland County has 5 tuckers. We have 4 of them that have been completely gone through. They're ready to go. We've worked on them all winter, so they have no snow. We have 1 more tucker we need to replace the tracks on. Which the Alliance purchases, and people just so you understand, them tracks for them tuckers are roughly $10,000 a piece. And when we replace them, you have to either replace repairs or you replace all. We have one that we need to replace all 4 of them. We have the tracks. We've gotten through our funding that we've raised, so we have 1 track stored down here in Butternut, and we have 3 up at Triumph in Mellon. Triumph is grateful to store one of our tuckers. In the winter season, they charge us $50 a month just for electric, to keep the tuckers plugged in. So we're fortunate there. Been working really hard with the DNR, or not DNR, the Forestry Service. Jennifer Bratch and Katie Lamone have been working with them. Ashland, what they did is they developed a trail committee for taking care of the trails. So they supplied us for any trail, but we're going to concentrate on a dead horse trail through Ashland County because there's no signage. So they supplied the Alliance with 150 posts, no signs and hardware. They kept 150 posts and signed with it. So we're going to work in conjunction with them to get the dead horse all signed. They've been doing a lot of brushing on the dead horse and stuff like that. Because it's a dual purpose trail, one of the issues is for us in wintertime, it's so rocky. We need better than a foot of snow before we can attempt even doing it. So I'm trying to work with them in coordination. Maybe we can, if they'll haul in some stone, remove some of these boulders on the trails. I know some of the ATV people don't like that because they're, oh, it's such, you know, but the snowmobile world is terrible. So, and I do both, so I understand both sides of that. So that's good. They're also looking at doing a lot more work in any other trails that this is in the national forest, which is good. They submitted for a bridge replacement on the West Torch. Myself and the Lions treasurer, we attended the infrastructure, DNR infrastructure meetings, and the snowmobile portion of that refused to fund the trail or the bridge over the West Fork River. But the Off-Road Association now said that they would fund that, so that bridge is gonna get replaced. On the part that's not so good is the bridges. The Alliance paid to have 6 bridges inspected. They charge us $300 a bridge to have this done. we had, the bridge over Schramm Creek, Butternut Creek, and up by Ringo working down. They gave us money to replace the one over Butternut Creek, that one was the worst, that one on the report said tear it out immediately. So we need to figure out ways to reroute some of these trails for that, and I'm not quite sure how we're gonna do this yet, so we all have to sit down and work with that. We also put in for redecking of the two bridges in Glidden, that was denied because of funding. We could get by for a couple of years on that, hopefully. Trail 13 north of Dryden Creek, there's a bridge that goes across Dryden Creek, comes on public land and then on to, not public, private land and on to some more private land. The second private landowner denying us access. What we're looking at right now is the first, after we cross the bridge on Kublai property, we can probably shoot out and go right along Highway 13 going south and north. But for about 200 yards, we're gonna have to talk with someone in the county of the highway so we get permission to run that trail for 200 yards. If not, I have no idea which way we're gonna go along this, because Trail 13 is the main route right through the county. So that's an issue we need to work with. The part that was a little disturbing, we took in, when we went to this, I went to two of these meetings. And one was in Rhinelander and the last one was down in Moseley, and we, as us, the Alliance, we were the only people that, from that. Otherwise, the other 71 counties is represented by a county representative. When I told them what we were told, that the Ashland County Sawmill Alliance owns the bridges, they said, no, that we're the only county that does that. They said the county was because it's part of the infrastructure for tourism, bridges and stuff like that, so. We have to figure out what we're gonna do in the future, because there's serious liability concerns here. Now, the DNR website, it shows that there's 20 bridges in Ashland County. Okay, according to their list of what they have. My wife and I hopped in my side by side, didn't give you the GPS coordinates and all that. We went through and I live in Cayuga, so I went from Cayuga basically just north of Mellon. I found 4 more bridges that's not even on that list. Talked to people, I've lived up here since 2014, I've talked to people, I said, who, what, when were these put, no one has any clues when these bridges were built, what's the load ratings, so we need to get some help from the county to get some of this stuff done, because I'm definitely afraid of the liability issues. If someone's riding on Ashland County trail systems and someone gets hurt or killed, or we run a tucker across and the bridge of the load ratings not right, we have some serious issues there. We need to. So, and and the problem is the people that do the work of the 5 counties or 5 clubs in the county, you probably got 10 to 15 people that do the work. Last year, I did the math the other day. We had no snow winters, so we could get a lot of work. But last year we did 2,454 hours of work with 14 people. And that's all volunteer work. I mean, we're putting up signs, we're brushing, we're doing everything we can. And then we come to the bridge part and, I don't know, Chris told me that the bridges belong to the Alliance and once they're replaced, it's a county. But we're the only county in the state of Wisconsin set up like that. And like I said, some of these bridges were replaced at one time, but we have no paperwork. I have nothing on them. I don't know. There's no load ratings on it. So it's a scary issue. We need help. I mean, the Alliance people that do all this work, I mean, we're all getting old. I mean, I'm sorry. I can't hang on to a pole saw for 10 hours. It's tough. So, we need some more support from the county to help us, especially on this bridge thing really bothers me. Bothers me bad. I'm really nervous about this. If something would happen or someone, and when I sit in these meetings, I'll tell you right now, Ashland County has got, everybody talks about how bad it is. We're trying to improve it. And then we run into this issue also. And so I just wanted the county to be aware, we need help. We need help on us. I mean, I'll take people out to inspect bridges. I don't care. I mean, I'll spend my time, I did that the last time, you know, but when you get these reports that these bridges are so bad, and you're gonna get, you know, on a good snow year, you got 2 feet of snow. Now you're pulling the tucker and drag across it. Well, you know, what's the load ratings on? You know, when we have no issues. I mean, no clues when these were built, and we have all these issues, and it's scary. It really is. And I know there's one on the pipeline just south of Mellon. We rebuilt our approaches on it, and I'm looking at them. I have no idea. Yeah, you know, Kevin Gager, I don't know if anybody knows the Gager family, he's been involved with stone doing forever.
Yeah.
And I asked Kevin, I said, when were these bridges put in? He doesn't even know. You know, so we're doing the best we can, but we need help. I just want everybody to know that. Go ahead.
They have a highway meeting on Monday, this coming Monday, September 9th at 9 o'clock.
Okay,
And you're talking about that 200 yards that you have to reroute along
Highway 13,
13.
yes,
If you want to put that on the agenda, give Matt Erickson a call.
okay.
And that was my first thing. Second thing is, have you talked to the county administrator, Ron, about possible assistance or a grant, or talk to that grant writer? We got a new grant writer in the county. I would suggest she was on early in the meeting. I would suggest you give her a call and see if you can bring your problems up to her and see if she can help in any way, because, you know, it's a possibility there's a grant out there and.
Well, there's gonna be, but what I was told, when I went to this last meeting, because of the no snow here, even through the whole state. The funding, you know, all the money is made by trail passes and grooming rates and stuff. Ashland County gets $63,000. That's what our allotment is from the DNR, take care of 207 miles of trail. Now, when we all go out and run tuckers, you know, we're burning fuel, we're barely making it by. Now, again, that's why if we can try to get some of these trails, like, if possible, and I don't know if we can, but more dual purpose trails like Bayfield and Sawyer County and all that. Cause then you get money from the Off-Road Association and you get money for snowmobiles. And the more trails we have, the more money we make, but it's getting trail systems built. And you got a lot of private property, I understand, so. I would.
What's the snow prediction for this winter?
Well, according to Farmer's Almanac, we're saying we're supposed to have a good snow year.
Good snow year, okay.
Okay, but I'm gonna tell you, as far as that, I told about that grant money. We already lost $20,000. We'll actually get $50,000 out of our 63. So we're gonna be short our first check to start off the season, and then we have another check that comes like in December from the DNR. So hopefully we're gonna get all that, but they also told us that since it was a bad snow winter, there's gonna be a lot of these counties that got money for their grants for doing trail work. A lot of counties didn't do nothing as far as trying to earn some of that cash, so that's gonna be coming back to the DNR. And there's possibly gonna be another grant meeting in February. So. According to Ted Anderson from DNR, he was telling me that, you know, if there is, I'm gonna go back with what we have, but we need to straighten our paperwork out. Because they're telling us some of our paperwork to be submitted for the bridges was not correct. So I don't know, we did the legwork on it, so I need to sit down with Chris and figure out what we're gonna do with that, so.
I know the last couple of years, you Zoom Alliance really came around, they were doing a great job, so.
Oh yeah, we're working hard, but like I said, this bridge thing popped up and that scares me.
So how's the bridge work? Do you hire a private contractor to build a bridge for you? Or how
Yeah,
does that work?
you have to.
That's the way it works?
We have KBIS out of Phillips, they came and did the inspections.
Okay.
They inspect the bridges, they give us reports, and then from there, we go and we actually got a quote from Anderson and we got a quote from Custom Bridges. to replace. Then you gotta deal with the wetlands and all this stuff and the granting, and if that bridge can be there, you know, and some of these bridges, they're in swamp, like one over Schwann's Creek, I don't know. Was that ever granted by the DNR because of its wetlands? I have no idea.
Yeah.
There's no paperwork trail, there's nothing, I can't find nothing. And I'm sorry to say the people that ran the lines before us didn't give us no information.
Yeah.
So we're starting from scratch.
Yep. Which is hard.
Yes.
Any more questions for
John.
John? Anything else? No?
Well, that's something, I mean, with the bridges, that's something in the county, that's something we'll have to talk about at the big county board, the main county board.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Dan and get it on the agenda. But I have to get all our information, what we're gonna ask of the county. So,
Right, okay.
get that all together because I'm probably gonna be an eye opener for the county and it's not that we want to add on any more expenses, but,
Well, you know, you're gonna make.
we've gotta do what we have to do.
We make our trails good, you're gonna make it back in curves and dollars. I mean, people drive over from Bayfield kind of, I mean, they don't even like riding that. It's had a black eye for so long,
Yeah.
you know, and we have communication out there, we're putting stuff on the radios and stuff, and we're doing stuff in papers, Facebook, you know, any type of exposure we can get, what we've been doing.
Oh, it's helped because last winter, the snowmobilers, like up in Glidden, I mean, it probably was 6, 7, 8 times more. Than
Yeah.
it was in the past.
Right.
What you guys have been doing is amazing compared to what it was.
Everybody's getting along, everybody's working.
Well, you
Yeah.
got rid of the problem, but
Yeah.
we get that, but.
And
You just got
it's amazing what our crew has done.
Mm-hmm.
But what really hurts, it's all of us old guys.
Right.
We need some new blood in there, you know, a little more energy.
Jim and Janice are leaving too.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we have. to
Yeah,
do it.
for that,
And Jim did a lot of work.
No, like balance.
yeah.
Do you guys do any fundraisers?
The clubs do.
Do they?
The clubs, yeah.
Yeah.
Back to where. Right now, we're also trying to work on with Chris, getting some property from the county to build a shed out in Mellon here. And, we've got 20,000 in an account to start our building fund, so. Slowly but surely we're getting it.
And I did hear there's a possibility that, Peter Drinkin up in the Mellon area. He's got some land right along Highway 13. He said if push come to shove, he would give us some money to.
Oh, okay, Peter Jolty.
Drinkin, yeah. But I said that Rich Ruckama, who was Lions secretary, was over in Klein Lake, he's actually building Rich's shed now. I kind of said, well, what about right behind Jake Peters' property? It's right in town, we got sewer, we got water, you know, it'd be a little bit nicer, you know, cause, you know, we have
Yeah.
gas there, you know,
Yeah, everything's there.
so. We'll see,
Yeah.
we're working on it little by little.
Yeah, like I say, you're doing a great job so far, so. Any other questions? If not, we'll move on to recreational officers. You guys can hear either. Never mind.
I have one question.
Oh,
Bruce retired, so is Jeremiah gonna take care, what's his territory, do you know?
I assume it's the same as it was for the other one.
The entire
He's a
county?
county rec officer.
Yeah,
So he's replacing.
yeah.
So I, when I was in one of my AWSC meetings, there was something brought up, and I'm gonna have to do some more digging. But there's some funding that counties can get for recreational officers,
Oh,
so I'm gonna do some more digging on that. And I believe that they'll up to like $50,000 for a season, so.
oh, okay.
I'm gonna do some, I have another AWSC meeting coming in the end of October. It's down in Wisconsin Dells, so I'm gonna try to talk with the powers to be in the association down there and see if I can get some information. 'Cause I was just thinking if we get $50,000, you know, actually, it's a big area. you
Oh,
know?
yeah. Big county.
Even if you find someone else, you know, or get more help. Yeah, so we'll look into that also. Well, it's election year, so hopefully you get, yeah. Get something, so. Anything else? Oh, okay, discussion and action items. Action, that's this, action item, is that the county forced,
Yeah, so everything underneath the administrator updates, basically.
oh, okay.
I can take over if you'd like.
Yes, well, yeah, if you want to, go ahead.
I gave everybody a copy of the budget detail for the forestry department. This is only the second year that we've used this software package, so I'm still trying to figure out what all this stuff means. Sue and Dan obviously understand it way better than I do. However, it's pretty simple for us. This is the same budget that we run basically every year for the last 8 or 10 years, other than wages change. The estimate on timber revenue changes every year, which is on the front page, highlighted at $400,000. That's the revenue estimate that I submitted with the budget for next year. And then the only other thing that I added that's different than in years past is on page 4. Down towards the bottom, it says survey project. I added a $10,000 one-time line item for survey work that we need to get done. We bought some 40s from the Board of Commissioners of Public Land. We've got the mapping done on those now. And we've got our recon data for those now, but we need to get several of them surveyed because they're bounded by private property, so that we can set timber sales up on them and manage them. So I added that one other line item to the budget. Otherwise, everything in this budget is the same budget that we submitted last year.
Oh, okay.
If the county has a county surveyor, a part-time county surveyor, would he do something like that?
So when we had this surveyor, when Carlson was here, he would have done that for us as part of his workload. Now that we've gone to like an on retainer type surveyor, he would do the work for us, but he would charge us for doing that.
Yeah, on the first page where you said you had a change there, what was it before?
So this year it was 545,000, I believe.
It looks like there's 23,000.
Well, when I originally figured out how to print out this report,
Okay.
I had a number of 425 in there as a placeholder.
Okay,
But after we reviewed our summit revenues through last week, I adjusted that down to 400,000. And-
last year was 500,000?
Yeah, it was 545, I think. But I couldn't figure out how to reprint this.
Oh, okay.
Just I'm not very good with this program, so that's why I went and crossed it out and just changed it to 400. But that's what's been submitted for our budget for next year, 400.
So how short were we on this 545?
Well, the year's not done yet, so I couldn't.
Oh, you can't, oh, it's for the whole year.
We're at about
Okay.
3.25 right now,
Okay,
and we've got a bunch of outstanding that needs to be billed yet and come back, and we still have wood being cut, so we're gonna be in the between 4 and 450 probably by the end of the year.
this 400,000 is kind of just an estimate because you don't know.
It's
how
our
much
best guess.
Yeah.
You don't know how much is actually going to be
Correct.
logged.
So the
What's
two
the
things
price?
that we can't control is the weather and the economy.
Yeah.
So if we get 12 feet of snow, I can't control that. If we get 12 feet of rain during the summer like we did earlier this summer, I can't control that.
If the price goes up.
If the price goes up, if the price goes down, if the economy, the economy has really been messing with our timber revenue this year. Housing starts are down, interest rates are up, so that affects timber sale revenue. And so the 400 is the best guess based on what we're seeing right now. And what we anticipate happening and the sales that we have on the property.
Does this have to go to the finance committee then? Is this your budget?
This is my budget.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve this. And I would like to second that. I'll second.
Okay, motion by Bill, second by Gary to approve the budget. Did you want to add to be, well, it has to go to the approval finance.
Finance
So,
committee.
okay, so, okay.
It'll go to finance and ultimately the county board.
Oh, Lord, yeah, so this is the first step, okay. So, everybody in favor of, submitting this, so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. That'll be-
So the next item on here says Wood Fair ad. We put that on in anticipation of having an August meeting. We always run the ad, both in butternut and wood for the fairs. It's part of the budget. It was a placeholder to let the committee know that we were running that ad. So obviously, the Wood Fair is completely helpful.
We need a motion.
That probably wouldn't hurt.
I'll make a motion that we approve that 25, or that $25. Fair.
Motion made by Bill Metcalf to approve the fair ad for Lindsay. Jerry seconded. Everybody in favor, by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried.
Okay, the next item, everybody should have got a copy of this, the resolution for the variable acreage share loan in the meeting packet. This is an annual resolution that we bring forward. It's part of our budget for every year, and so this money that we're borrowing from the state will be part of our budget for next year. And then this money gets paid back every year with timber sale revenue. Usually we pay it back, I think in May is when they send the bill. Every county is eligible for this, up to 50 cents per acre. We always ask for 50 cents per acre. It's interest-free money, so it goes right into the budget.
I move we approve this and pass it forward to finance.
It goes to the county one then.
County board, yeah. Will this make the next county board meeting then? This pass also. Yeah, we have a catch-all meeting usually, but.
Yes, it will, Bill.
Or, yeah, he said it'll be on the next county board meeting.
Okay, motion made by Marty to approve this county forest acreage share payment, and seconded by, who's it seconded by, anybody? Seconded by Jerry. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried.
I have a question on this $12,000 some dollar voucher that went to the county clerk. That is part of this then, that's the reimbursement. There was a check. There was a check made out to the Ashland County Clerk for $12,000 some dollars. Was that part of this payment refund or?
Yeah, I would imagine.
I don't remember them being $12,000 check to the clerk.
Right here on top, big check payable to Ashland County Clerk. $12,269.14. Was that part of that repayment on this last year?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
So as the stumpage comes in, then we
Then we get billed and then pay the state back.
okay.
Yep. All right, the next item, again, you should have received this in your meeting packet, is the annual work plan. At the last meeting, we reviewed an annual report from the year before. So now we have a work plan that basically lays out what we're gonna do next year. This work plan really doesn't change much from year to year because we basically do the same thing from year to year. However, if there are things like the carbon credit program, or if we're doing some other project, that will make the list, but typically the plan stays the same, other than the front page where it says timber harvest. And this is a snapshot of the acreage that we're going to look at for next year for potentially setting up timber sales and selling timber sales off of. So you can see we're heavy again, like we always are, to northern hardwood, because that's the predominant cover type in the county forest. And then it just lays out by species breakdown what's coming up on the schedule. That doesn't mean we're going to sell 1,700 acres of timber sales next year. We've got 1,700 acres of county forest to look at and potentially set up timber sales on. And then the rest of it just breaks down our day-to-day type work of, you know, maintaining our forest, the roads, the hunter walking trails, the boat landings, all that kind of thing. So it's broken out in a list. And this is a state requirement for some of the funding programs that we participate in. So I would ask this committee to adopt this, and this will go also to the full county board for adoption as well.
We do anything on Maryland Island?
We do not. It's not a typical workload for us. If the highway department has some property out there, and we have helped the highway department do work on highway department property in the past, but not on that one.
Oh,
So if somebody like the highway department were to reach out for help,
yeah.
that would make the list of, for the work plan that we were gonna do for the upcoming year.
Oh,
But at this time, we don't have any business on the island.
okay. So,
Was there, something for spraying? Noxious weeds or something?
There should be a line item in here about invasive species control.
Okay, where was that about?
Item 3.
So item 3 under reforestation activities.
Okay,
It says continue to address garlic mustard issues. And we also, that we address invasive species outbreaks as we find them.
so we don't know. But isn't there something in the spring of the year where you spray?
Yes, so every year we've got a garlic mustard outbreak on a piece of county forest property in the town of Agenda. And every spring we go out and we do an on-site hands-on inventory. Do hand pulling if we can, and then we spray those sites as they start to grow plants. Garlic mustard is one of the first plants that comes up in the spring, so it's easy to find and identify. And we do that every spring.
How long does that take? And
2 weeks.
2 weeks? And how many people?
It varies. Tom and Sawyer for sure, Avery for sure. And then lots of times other assistance from the DNR as well. Although we're starting to get a better handle on it, there's fewer plants to deal with every year, but it's still a really big area, so it takes quite a bit of time to manage.
so any other questions? If not, we need a motion.
Motion enough.
Okay, you're in the emergency to adopt this, this county first annual work plan. Need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, second by Marty. Okay, go ahead.
Why does this have to be brought before the board? Oh, state statute. Cause yeah.
That's a
No,
great question.
I'm on the highway department and, you know, we don't have to take that before the board, right? Okay, state statute, okay, thank you.
Okay, so everybody in favor of this adoption, please by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried.
The last item on the list, everybody should have got a nice picture. Everybody should compliment me on these. I made these yesterday. I've never made a map before. I can probably do it.
Nice.
Thank you. If you notice in the very middle of the picture, there's kind of an orange polygon shape right on the north side of that body of water along the road. That's a parcel of property that's owned by Ashland County. This item comes to us from the highway committee, highway department. They were approached by. Yeah, it's a paddling group in Clam Lake, like the Friends of the West Fork of the Chippewa River or something like that. They approached the highway commissioner and the highway committee about the possibility of creating a parking area on that piece of county property with a trail that'll go down to the water's edge. And then maintain some kind of canoe / kayak landing there. This issue came up many years ago when Emma Shields was still here, and Emma was not in favor of it. The highway committee at that time was not in favor of it. However, Matt Erickson and the current highway committee are in favor of allowing this project to move forward. And my understanding is the highway committee approved taking this forward. Matt took the direction from the highway committee to reach out to both forestry and recreation and to public lands to get their support for this project as well.
Ashland County Highway Department. Went ahead and viewed this site, Marty. We went ahead and viewed this site, this spring. And, what the county owns is actually a highway right away. There's a little curve there. And so they got more land. And, there's trees on it, you know, but it was highway right away. And, but they need a place to put more parking thing, and Matt kind of showed us where they're planning on it. And as far as I know, the plan was that Ashland County would not have to pay anything. The club was going to go ahead and do the work and take care of it.
That was what I was explaining to me, is the club would supply all the material and funding. The highway department might assist like in leveling the gravel kind of thing,
Right.
but there would be no county investment in this. It would be through the club. We would just be allowing them to put it on county
The
property.
thing is, I didn't know at the time if the county was just going to give an easement or actually a deed, you know, like a warranty deed. So they didn't know, I don't think they did at that time, right, Marty?
Personally, I don't think that's a good idea. The easement, it works.
Yeah, but they had talked about it, right? So I think we were gonna go with an easement.
And so the highway department, highway committee is asking for support from the forestry and recreation committee and the public lands committee. So that's why I bring it to you today. And Matt was just asking if you guys could motion it in to the committee support it or not. I mean, that's at the committee's discretion, obviously.
How big is the parking area for parking? I mean, I can't do that.
They're only gonna do like 3-4.
Yeah, Matt told me enough room for probably 2 vehicles.
Oh, is that it? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's that big of a deal. I mean,
He thought it would take a couple loads of material to widen out the shoulder enough that you could park a couple of vehicles in there. And then they would cut a path down to the water and create some kind of landing. He's also gonna talk to DNR water regs people about the landing area itself to make sure that we're not violating any state water regs.
yeah,
It's a little ways from this guy's house. There's like a house that sits behind it, and there's a driveway in that guy's house, but it's not that close, but it's a little ways in. Right. You know, but Marty and I are both on the highway committee.
I think that also comes off of GG, that's a public road that comes off of, so then it will just basically parallel GG for little ways to access to the river back.
Sure.
oh, okay. Okay, any more questions? If not, if somebody, would you care to send us forward that we give our pleasure to go ahead?
I'll make a motion now.
Okay, so Jerry makes a motion to accept this. Seconded by, you want to second it?
I'll second it. If anybody doesn't want to second it.
Okay, seconded by Marty. All in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I
Okay, motion carries.
guess I felt kind of odd, making a motion, seeing we're both on the highway committee. You know, and we recommended it to go to this committee, so, you know, that's why I asked you.
What are you gonna do in a small town?
Small county.
So that's all I have, other than to say that things have been pretty busy out in the county forest since after the 4th of July. Pulp markets have opened up, log markets have opened up. They're not paying a lot, but the volume is there. So we're getting some work done, which is a good thing, because earlier this spring and summer, it was very, very slow. I anticipate that's going to continue through the winter as long as we have a normal, typical northern Wisconsin type winter. And we're just getting ready now for all the fall recreation that goes on. Bear hunting starts today. Bow hunting starts pretty quick. Bird season starts pretty quick. So we will have lots of recreational type activity going on in the county forest.
Go ahead.
Cutting boughs, can you just tell us what is entailed with that, cutting on county forest?
So if somebody wants to cut boughs in the county forest, they come to this office or they call this office. We have a bow permit. It's $100 per person. It's good for unlimited amount of bows. And they can go out in the county forest and cut bows wherever they choose to cut bows. As long as they're on county forest property. It falls on them to know where private property is, where federal property is, that kind of thing. But it's basically, that's the process. It's very simple.
It's unlimited amount, eh?
Unlimited amount.
Oh, that's pretty good. So.
There, no food for you.
No, we don't cut balls.
You could follow the steam interest.
I was gonna ask you about,
I just kind of wanted to.
as bad as the spring was, everything else, I mean, did any of the logging roads get tore up? Did we have to fix them? I mean, do you have to do anything?
We haven't had any issues. The amount of traffic that we saw this summer compared to summers past has been way down. I think with gas prices being up, and people having less money, the fun stuff in their pockets. I know in the city of Park Falls on the weekend, we haven't seen anywhere near the volume of like ATV, UTV, recreation going on. So it's been quiet in the county forest as well. Now is when we'll start to see problems as we get more the fall recreation going on. That's when it's really start to see issues.
And we have the problems like, from ups and that way, they have all kinds of UTVs and stuff all summer long, fall.
Yeah.
We occasionally get somebody that comes down and tears up the roads on a weekend, but that always falls to the towns they have to deal with. They don't really go under the county forest proper on the forest roads.
Oh, okay,
They stay mostly to the town roads.
just a gravel roads, eh?
Correct.
Fire lanes.
But even that damage has been very less this year than in the past.
Oh, that's good. Anything else?
That's all I had, unless anybody else has any more questions.
Any more questions from anybody? Okay, how about other business? Any other business?
Chris, the meeting times.
Well, I'll get to that one, talk about scheduling next week.
Okay.
So nothing else about other business? Okay, so the next would be schedule the next meeting.
So we've got on here November 6th. I'm anticipating we'll probably need an October meeting. But we'll make that decision here in the next couple of weeks. The other question about meeting times is Cindy doesn't start work here now until 9 in the morning. So it won't be a problem to move this meeting to 9:30 instead of 9 o'clock.
Yeah. What would you?
I think Cindy should come earlier.
I'll let you take that up with her.
We'll carry overtime.
No, that's,
Okay.
I,
So I'm anticipating we'll need an October meeting. I'm not 100% sure right at this moment that we'll need it, but I'm anticipating we will. So that would be October 2nd at 9:30.
And everybody's fine with 9:30. Okay,
so if you don't have it the second, when would you have it?
Then it would be November 6th.
Okay, so tentative date is October.
Correct. And we will send out notifications if we determine that we don't need to have the meeting. We'll send out a notification for everybody.
okay. Sounds great.
Unless you just want to come down with him all the time. October 2nd, we go for a ride. We'd probably need some berries.
Go down the street, have coffee.
We could do that too.
Okay, let's see, I guess, is that it then? You got the meeting scheduled. So, other than that, I guess we need somebody to adjourn.
Before we adjourn,
Okay, go ahead.
last meeting, we went ahead and toured the forestry department. The buildings, that was excellent. I think that's, if anybody hasn't seen them, would like to, I think we would do it today, but I thought that was worthwhile. Thank you.
Well, I missed that.
I hauled wood for 25 years. I hauled wood for 25. Okay, well, I just thought I'd throw that in there, so, as long as we're talking, yeah.
Well, anytime anybody's down here, it doesn't have to be on a meeting day. You're more than welcome to stop. And if you want to go out in the woods and see a timber sale or what we do, anytime, just stop by.
Oh, okay.
Timber is picking up.
It seems like it. I think everything we offer this fall will probably sell.
I know that timber, what's the name of that place right outside of Ashland? They ran out of it. logs, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah.
That outfit,
And that's, yeah.
they looked to a lot of.
Oh, all right.
I'll
Motion by Jerry to adjourn, and seconded by, Gary seconded, so. Everybody signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, okay, motion carried, we're adjourned. So thanks, everybody.